welcome back. Here we are, Success Blueprint. We're here on the second episode where we figure out Mike. We learn about Mike, Jaime, financial enabler, Mike, man of valor. So we're gonna dive right into it. Last time that we spoke, we were wrapping up with Mike and his careers and what he had been doing and all of the past, right? And now we're gonna lean into a little bit to the future. I'm in a slightly different place. You guys can see all these animals because my girl's a crazy dog lady. It's all good. She's awesome, so I appreciate it. But with that, just so you guys know, today's July 5th. We just passed July 4th. 250th birthday of America. So that's always awesome, worth mentioning. And with that, Mike, first of all, how are you doing?
I am well, excited, focused,
Mm,
man, just fired up, to be honest. Yeah, I'm doing great, bro. Doing great. Family's good. My kids come home today. They were with their grandparents for the last couple weeks, so get to see them again. So I'm excited. So life is good, bro. How about you?
Dude, life is great. I'm actually totally enjoying my sports addiction. I was laughing about it. I was walking into a grocery store the other day watching a game, and I look at Tawny and I'm like, I can't believe people do this every Sunday. I do it every 4 years. It's like, how do they do this every Sunday? This is crazy.
Yeah, I
But
can't.
whatever. I'm already starting to move my schedule around because of this point of the World Cup. I'm like super into it. It's just kind of funny.
Mhm.
But with that, let's get into you. Last time we left off, we spoke about, the coffee MLM, really good personal development. You saw a lot of the pros with an MLM. Obviously, there's plenty of cons. And
Yeah.
now pivoting. So after the coffee MLM, that was post-military. At what point did Candace leave the military? Just so that we can connect timeline.
Yeah. So actually the coffee MLM was during my time in the military, and I
Mm,
stayed in it from when I got out. Right.
got it.
So yeah, so Candace retired in the end of 2020, December 2020. Right. So that from there, that's when I was working as a contractor and actually as a army civilian for the military. Right.
Got
So
it.
I got a government job doing that for a little bit.
Got it.
Mm.
And then whenever the contract's finished, did with what you're doing now, how did you find it? How did it find you? And how did you get into that? And did you pivot immediately? How was that transition?
Yeah. So honestly, the way I got into it, I've always been looking for some type of business anyway. Right. So during this whole time, I was doing carpentry, had a trucking company. Like when I got out the military, I had all kind of stuff. I had people coming into me like, "Hey, I want you to, you want to be the front of our business. You be the chief operating officer. You be the chief of staff. You do this." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool. Hey, man, I got this startup I'm about to do, and I want you to work with me." Like, absolutely, right? And I'm like, "Man, I love that. Let me go make sure this is what God has for me." And I would pray about it, and all of the answers were no. And I'm like,
Mm,
"Dude, this is like right for me." So when Candace retired, we were doing all right. Right, we're doing well. I picked up. Obviously, I was a consultant at the time, and I was working as a cybersecurity trainer for TSA. So and she was working too. She working for HPE, Hewlett Packard Enterprises, as a cyber policy writer, governance. She did the governance side of cyber, which is
mhm.
cool. And we were doing, military, retired military. She's retired, both getting VA, all of the things, making over six figures each. So we're making a good $500,000 a year, right? So not bad but we were used to the tax breaks that the military gave us, right? And this is
Mm,
how we ended up where we are now. And I just think I'm God's favorite child. I tell this story all the time. And I'm like, yo, I have to figure out what's happening with money, right? Like, how does this stuff work? Like, we paid, and my issue wasn't that I had to pay 15 grand in taxes that year, right? Whatever. $500,000 is not terrible. But we had like $75,000 worth of write-offs. And I'm like, okay, maybe this is normal. We got the money. Let's just pay. And at the same time, we are paying. And Trump is like, he paid $800 on a billion. And I was like, okay, right. I don't, I don't really care about any of the presidents, right? No disrespect in that. I'm just their
yeah,
president. But what I realized is that I wasn't in the money game.
yeah.
And I got to figure this thing out. And I just think I'm God's favorite child, right? We talked about this a couple weeks ago, right? I just really do think I am. So when I ask a question, he brings answers. And
Mm,
my sister was doing something and she's like, Mike, man, I just want you to make sure I ain't getting scammed. Come look at this business for me. Like, and I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. We'll sit down and talk. And I'm like, oh, this is literally what I've been asking about. Like, no, this is fire, right? So this is great information. I hooked me up with the stuff to save money and all of that. And then I ran into the guy that was helping her out, and he was like, "Man, I think this would be a great business opportunity for you, man. Whatever." And I'm like, "Okay, right? Well, I'm always open. I've been open to all these other things. So yeah, sure, I'll hear you out. Heard it, he showed me the business. I'm like, man, this is pretty good. Let me go pray about it. And I'm just not the guy that, in the church spaces, you hear that a lot. Oh, I need to just go pray and ask God. And I'm like, and that just means they're gonna take weeks upon or whatever. I don't use that as an excuse. And he was like, oh, here we go. And I'm like, no, no, no. I'll have an answer tomorrow. Like I just, you know what I'm saying? Like he's going to answer my prayer immediately. Like we can meet again tomorrow. Trust me. I'll tell you one way or another tomorrow. He's like, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, I'm not playing that game. So I tell Candace is in the background, like, no, no, this ain't for you. Like you ain't doing it. Woman, just go pray. Right. You go
Yeah.
pray, I'm gonna pray, and we'll go from there. Right. So the next day, I prayed that night. I'm like, all right, Lord, it's another opportunity. Is this the way? And like, I got the clearest yes I've heard in my life. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Like, okay, this is awesome. All right, let's see what Candace was. Something. I'm like, hey, Brady, so I prayed about it and I heard yes. She was like, you did? I said, what'd you hear? She's like, I was like, oh, you didn't pray. No worries. I'm just moving on God, right? As he tells me. And man, dove in and been here ever since. And here's the interesting part about getting started with this type of business, what our business that we're in now is 2 days after that, I was business consulting. It was good. We had like 40 people. They just hired like 20, 30 people at the company. I was one of. And 2 days after I got started with this business, our company cut like 12 to 15 people and then
Whoa.
lowered my hours from 40 hours a week to 10 hours a week, which means my pay went with it. And think about that. Even if you're only making $1,000 a month and you go from 1,000 to 25% to 250, that's just insane. Like
Yeah.
overnight, right? And it's not like, hey, next month we're going to start this. It's like, no, immediately. And I was like, this is crazy. So I'm like, all right, timing is it. Like he pulled the blanket from under me, like security blanket. Let's just go. So I just dove in, man, and been here ever since. It's been super fun. Right.
I love that. And
Yeah.
since you mention it with what I heard that you said is that you have an ability or not ability, a trust that you can pray with certainty. And I
Absolutely.
know we've spoken about this, but I had never framed the question this way because it's very interesting. A good segue into it is that how do we pray with certainty that God will answer quickly and not just a delay? Is it just
Yeah.
trusting or what is it? How would you frame that for somebody that is just I need to pray about something?
Sure. Yeah, sure. So part of it for me is I'd already been praying for an opportunity anyway, right? So which
Mhm.
means when something comes my way, it's gonna stand at the door until I let it in. I have to be able to open the door and take a hold of the opportunity. Right. So that's
Yeah.
part of it, is that I already know I'm looking for something. The next
Right.
thing is for me is that I trust God so much that he would not bring something to me and let me sit when an opportunity is there. So he's either and every single time is either an immediate yes or immediate no. Right. He
Mm.
does because we just don't know. There's only certain opportunities that come up in life, right? Because let's say I waited a week to answer, like get a job opportunity. It's like, oh yeah, yeah, man, I think I like it. I'm gonna go pray about it. And it takes me 2 weeks to get back to the guy. He's like, oh, bro, you took too long. I hired somebody else that took an immediate yes, right? I was like, yeah, he was just in, and I'm like, dang. So I never wanted to be in a space to where I don't move quickly enough, and I just trust God is going to give me an answer, right? The next thing for me personally is that my alignment, I'm always talking to him so I know his voice and I'm always looking for him to respond. I know that he's a good father. He's a good God. He responds, right? So I'm always looking for that. I'm not just asking for things for me. I'm asking for how I can get better. How can I grow? What areas can I help somebody else in? Or man, where am I? Give me, the next thing for my family or whatever it is for me. Like I'm always listening to him because he's always speaking, at least in
Mhm.
my opinion. Right. So and then not having so many things in my space that my judgment, my hearing is clouded. I'm not watching a lot of TV. I'm not watching a lot of social media. I don't have all these things playing. I'm okay with sitting in God's presence and being quiet so I can hear his voice. I'm okay with keeping that connection so strong, trying to keep it strong. Like I do my best to do it. Don't get it wrong. I don't hear it all the time. Right. That I want to be able to hear immediately when I need to hear. Because if I need to act it right now, I need God to be able to just say, hey, no, 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 go give them some money. No,
Okay.
no, no, you pay for their food. Like I need to be able to act on the things he said. So I'm always constantly listening because I know he's always talking. So that's part of it for me on a personal level. I don't know if I answered the question for anybody else, but I just try to do my best to stay in tuned.
Dude, that's legit, and I think it clears it up and confirms some of the things that I have. But I'm asking that question because I know that when people are young in the faith or even older and distrusting, right? It's usually a delay strategy, not
Hmm.
a guidance, not a okay. I need to get this, and like you said, like God rarely is like I guess when God does speak and it's like loud rumbling thunder,
Hmm.
a massive change of direction. Most of the time, it's just like you've been praying for it. Here it is. Now take it.
Yeah.
Right. So I just wanted to ask about that. Cool. Now, with what you're doing,
Fix your mic.
with
There
what
you
you're
go.
doing, what would you say has been in your business? How would you explain your business for somebody that is like just listening in and like of what we do? How do you explain?
Yeah. I mean, so our business, we're in the financial industry, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, we're not product driven, we're philosophy driven.
Mm-hmm.
So we're here to help, any and everybody, middle America, basically, whose backs America is built off of, understand money, understand that they can have the dream life, understand that they can get to the next level, understand all of those things and be able to be empowered to do some things for themselves and not relying on everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's one way I would explain it if I wasn't trying to, give a pitch or anything like that. But to me, ultimately, we are the cure to financial cancer in America,
Right.
right?
Cure the
Again,
financial cancer.
and giving people the chance to say, man, I can take, not everybody's going to start a business.
Yeah.
It's not real. Right. Not, and you can actually live a life of independence. You become financially independent. You can have a wealthy life. You can retire happy. You can thrive in retirement instead of surviving. All of those things, if you understand principles and be
Okay.
willing to put those principles into your life. And really, that's what we're showing people. Hey, these philosophies that we have are principle based that will allow any and every person, if they apply them and stick to it, because we're not in the short term wealth business, making
Yeah.
money. In that short term, we're not in the rich get rich quick scheme. We're not overnight, right? We're like, hey, this is the long game, which it is, right?
Yeah.
Because we need things to compound. Compound effect takes place the longer you do it, right? It's just like anything. So we're in the business of empowering people and educating them to change their mind, their thinking around money. They're thinking around how much they can actually make. They're thinking around security and what that looks like to actually save money and have that all together. Thinking around they can grow as a person. That's how I would describe our business. So we're changing that for people and saying, hey, you can change. In order for things to change, you must change. I must change, right? Because there's two lines in life. There's a sign that everybody says, I want change. And the other one says, I want to change. We know that everybody's at door one.
Mm.
So our goal is to get people to move to door two where the real change takes place. If I had
How is it that people make a change?
making a decision,
Mm.
right? It's decision based. It's saying, you know what? I need to put myself in a space or in an environment where I can actually realize who I can become versus who I am. Does that make sense? So a lot of us are making decisions based on who we are today versus who we can become.
Right.
And we hear this all the time. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. I've been doing it this way for so long, and I don't know if I can learn something else. And I tend to agree. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. But then I say, good thing we aren't dogs.
Yeah.
Right. Good thing, because we can still learn no matter how old you are. And it's never too late for you to start implementing things into your life that are better. We use this all the time. I mean, when's the best time to plant a tree? 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah. When yeah, a while back well,
Yeah.
today, right?
Yeah. When's the second best time? Is today.
Today.
Right. Because if you wait till tomorrow, it's only going to take even longer for it to do. So for us, yeah, the best time for you to done a lot of the things that we educate people on is years ago for sure. But the
Mhm.
second best time is right now when you know better, right? We heard the saying, when you know better, you do better. That's just, we should do better, right?
Yeah.
So we go from there. So I hope that answered your question.
Totally does. And how would you tie, and this is not just your business. Okay, so I'm gonna change the question with that. So with what you're doing, what has this business, because you've been in a great career. Your Candace has been in a great career. You've had businesses, you've started MLMs. How has this business been different for you? And then next question, for your family.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. For me personally, it's given me a platform and a system that I can use to do what God called me to.
Okay.
Really that simple. It's a building block. It's the infrastructure. It's a space to where I can get to the space, get to where, hey, I can go build something amazing that's actually mine,
Okay.
right? Will give me the freedom that I need to be able to go and the money, right? To go donate to, like, we love to give. We're big givers. We got all kind of causes that we want to give to. But I need to build something that money comes in even if I'm not there.
Got it.
Everybody doesn't have $75,000 non-refundable application fee to get a McDonald's. I don't have $1 to $2 million liquid right now that I can set aside and wait 11 years to get in. I'm not a big proponent of, no shout out to no hate on McDonald's. I just don't like the food. I work there. Right? It's
Yeah.
not good food. So I don't want to serve that to people. I wanted to do something that even if I'm not, that even I can get passionate about And no matter what, it's always going to be helping and serving people in a positive way. So that's what it's done for me, is giving me that, and allowed me to realize that I can, as long as I'm continually growing, man, business is endless. Like I can do whatever I want. We can accomplish so many things, which is beautiful and help change lives at the same time. We're mission focused and not commission
Mm,
focused. Like you're gonna get paid, but bro, I get way more money and way more glory, right? In it all, not glory for me personally, but glory as a whole holistic way when I grow, right?
yeah.
And I just become the best version of me. From my family, man, from my wife in particular, she is all about the self improvement, seeing that need for us to grow together. Now, at the same time, it's nearly impossible. We don't have to be on the
Ooh,
same page, right? We need to be in the right book, in the same book, right?
wow.
We don't have to be on the same page. It's nearly impossible. There's some areas that she's leaps and bounds ahead of me, but I'm in that book with her, right? It's other areas I'm leaps and bounds ahead of her, but she's in the same book, right?
Yeah.
And that's the part of our covenant. We get to lean on each other to feel those things, which is powerful. So for her, man, it's been an amazing journey to see her grow and watch her, get better and better and better and learn more and more about herself and all of the things that people, the insecurities that we have that nobody else sees, man. It's beautiful to watch her work her way through it and just light up a room. And I own where God has taken is going to be phenomenal. For my
Yeah.
kids, it gives them, because we're a holistic piece, it gives me a place where I can actually teach them stuff that's going to be relevant for their entire life. And I'm not
Mm,
saying school isn't important, but a lot of crap we learn in school, we could do without, quite
yeah,
frankly, right?
for
Quite
sure.
frankly. So getting to show them, like, here are some principles that if you take with you forever, no matter what, if I can help you become a millionaire, have a millionaire mindset, I can give you $1 and you'll turn it into 1 million. However,
Wow.
if I give you $1 million and you don't have the mindset, you're going to take that $1 million and turn it into $1, right? Really quickly. So for me to give my kids the information that I didn't get, my dad said it a couple like maybe last year sometime. He's like, "Man, son, I taught you how to work hard to get money, but I didn't teach you how money worked. You went and figured that thing out on your own." And I was like, "Exactly." Right. And he was like, "Man, that's awesome." Because I just didn't know I knew how to work hard. I didn't know how it really worked. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
having that and being able to show them, this is how money really works. This is how your thinking can get you to the next level. And that's the only thing that's going to get you to the next level. Right. You can realize anything. So having that with them, and then getting to show them the world, right? You get a
Mm,
different worldview traveling, right? They get to go with us on trips and doing all of these things, and how we give back and how we love on people, and we get to actually be a living example of the things that we're preaching, right? To and not necessarily with our words, but with our life,
yeah.
right? And exposed to people like you and Tanya, right? So they can see, like, oh, it's not just my parents that's saying this stuff, that's not doing this stuff, right? Like, oh, this is much bigger. I can do way more. The impact and them getting to, come to places with us and see, all of the things and all of the people that we meet, and people love them immediately. And they're like, oh, I'm not used to this, right? Like, shoot, they
Yeah.
actually like me. Yes, they love you because of just who you are, and going from there. So that for me is game changer, because we got a holistic business that one day will transfer to them.
Mm,
Right. And then they'll be able to, and they'll have the skills, they'll have the skill set, the leadership, they'll have all of the things that I've been working on from now on to be able to get there, and they can get there way faster than we did. You know what I mean? Like
sure.
10 times faster, just because they get to be in this lane of understanding that it's all our thinking, understanding that everything we do in life is what did Raja call it? A beautiful life cycle, right?
Yeah.
Spiritually strong, emotionally and mentally strong, financially strong, and socially strong. They'll have that holistic picture from a young age. And that's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So that right there is priceless for me.
Dude, that's awesome, and it's cool to hear it. Even though I'm doing the same thing, it's cool to hear how you frame it and the impact of family, and not just you, right? Because I don't have family yet, so it's like I'm not thinking about it that way.
Mhm.
But that's awesome. If you would say, what is your dream goal? I mean, something that as maybe frame for the audience, like what kind of goal do you want for the people that you work with, not for yourself, not like
Mhm.
your achievement. What is it? What are your goals for the people you work with?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to sound cliche, but I'll break it down a little more for them to accomplish what they're looking for in life.
Mm,
my personal one of my personal mission is to bring people closer to Christ in a positive way and and just be a part of that the journey for them to actually reach purpose and destiny.
Mm,
It doesn't matter what that looks like. Some people in our business will make $1 million a year or more. Others are going to make 100 grand and be happy. Others are going to make 250 and be happy. 500, whatever, right? Some people are just going to quit their job, make 50K and be happy to not have to work for somebody else. Like whatever that looks like. So for the people that we are directly impacting to get to that, my whole goal for them is just to realize that their best potential, who they could become, and pour so much belief in them. Be like, man, you wanted to make $500,000, but I see a millionaire in you, and everybody around sees that,
yeah, yeah.
right? So you can go, you don't even have to push a lot more. It's just that your the mindset and your thinking to get to that next level. You know what I'm
How,
saying?
how it pulls people to achieve that.
Yeah, man, and I've always wanted to be the type of leader, and I'm drawn to this type of leader personally. Is the leader that can see me and say, "Oh, there's more. There's definitely more. What are you doing? Stop playing." Right?
Yeah,
And one, because I've always felt like there's more inside me, and not knowing necessarily, you don't always know how to pull out that
yeah,
last little piece. There's so much we can do. You and I we're internally driven. Right?
yeah,
Like, takes I mean, trust me, nobody could ever believe I'm gonna make $10 million a year. I'm going to freaking make $10 million a year, come hell or high water, right? Unless Jesus tarries. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he
yeah,
returns before
yeah,
that time. I will get there easy, right? But I want that. I don't want it to be just about amount of money. I want them to be like the impact you have, right? Your story, who the people that you're helping. So for me, I'm really like, bro, let me just help you, sis. Let me just help you get to the next level. And hey, man, here's some things that I can see that's going, man, you have more of this inside you. You got more of that. Oh, you could do that thing. So my goal is for them to become the best version of themselves. I just
yeah,
want to be a small part of it, right? And not even really, they got to do the work for sure, because I can't do it for them. If that was the case, we'd already made a bunch of people millions of dollars, right?
yeah.
So I just want to be a part of that story, that journey, and be able to point other people to that,
Got
right?
it.
And not to say I helped did it because I didn't do jack, to be honest, but point out one or two things and give them an opportunity as well. And then if if God gives me something to say, or if in the moment they ask me a question, I can answer it. Sure, right? But them doing the work, I think I get more pleasure out of it, seeing them win and hit milestones and get to the next level in life and with their families, and man, shoot, making enough money for their husbands or wives not to have to work, right? To be
Yeah,
able to enjoy that, to not worry about the next paycheck, or all of the things. Like I'm so much ready for that, right? And
yeah,
looking for those things. So yeah.
dude. I love that. Now that's how you see it for them. What do you see your legacy being for your family?
Yeah. Legacy is big for me. However, it's n- I'm going to leave my family with money.
Hmm.
They're set, right?
Yeah.
Set up for now. They're good. But the legacy I would love to leave, that I'm going to leave, similar to yours, right? It's very similar. Bro, a man after God's own heart. You
Mm,
know that I walk with Christ in all things, right? And I'm going to do. Was I perfect? Heck no, right? Not even close. But I am striving. I am perfecting, right? I'm working towards it at all times. So, man, knowing that you're gonna see. I would love my legacy to say, if the Bible will still be written, there would be a book of Michael,
ooh,
right?
dang.
That would be fire for me if the Bible was still being written, where my life represented Christ so much and I walked with him in all that I did, that my life was God inspired, right? Possible? No, probably not. I screwed it up a whole bunch, but that's part of that. As a husband, not to be the best husband ever, but to be the best husband to Candace. Like, I could be the best husband ever and it not be fulfilling for what she needs.
Yeah,
All right. To be the best husband to my wife, to know that I loved her, I respected her, I cherished her, I did everything I could not to make her happy, but be in a place, I provided an environment where she could be full of joy, where joy is flourishing, and now her happiness is her choice. Unless I'm
yeah,
a part of the non-happy, right? I did something to do something stupid to make her not happy, but
yeah,
my
yeah,
my job isn't to make her happy. My job is to put her in an environment where she can win, she can be a winner, she can thrive, and all of those things. So that is that. As a father, um, I want to be a father that mimics one my earthly father, which I
mhm,
think is phenomenal. My dad is freaking, and mom, both of them are just phenomenal parents, grandparents too. But I also want to be as close to Christ as I can, right? And
mhm.
love so much that I tell my kids often, even now, it's like there's nothing good or bad you can do for me to love you more or less.
Nothing good or bad.
You could go kill somebody right now, and I'm gonna love you the same. Or you can go do whatever, something so great. I'm gonna love you the same, right? So for that, so as a father, I want to be a role model father like you, where people can mimic. Like, hey man, if I do some things that Mike did, I'm gonna have great kids, and I'm gonna be a great father, right?
Yeah.
So I would love that portion for legacy. As far as business, I would love to be known as a leader that cares. And I'm reading this book, the book called The Multiplier. Have you ever
Yeah.
started it? I'm reading that
Yeah.
book now, and I would love my legacy as a leader for business to be a multiplier
Mm,
all day. If I can have that, bro, we're in there. Which hard to work for, not necessarily hard, lots of pressure, but in an environment where you can thrive. And I'm gonna get the maximum out of everybody that I can, right?
yeah.
In a good way, where they don't feel drained and they feel, man, fulfilled. And somebody challenged me. I feel smarter when I left his presence. Like I would love that as far as that, right? And then, yeah, I don't know what other area do I need to think about, but those are the main areas for me. Yeah.
That's it. That's dude. That's awesome. And as you were going through it, what I thought, and it's funny how my brain works. I want to say the negative first because it's how I like saying it in my head. It sounded long-winded, and then I was like, "This is just very well defined." You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
it's like I feel that, and I feel that I'm saying that because I realize that that is how many times we hear things and we're not letting the whole thought go through. And I remember it's like, okay, is this long-winded? But I'm already thinking of it well-defined. And what I think that came to me as you're speaking about this is already your impact that you have. Your legacy is so well-defined that you will work for it, that you have the effort to it, you have the plan for it. And the other part is that as we talk about success blueprint, a long-winded, sorry, a well-defined legacy is never long-winded. I think that that is something more people can put into like how much depth they put into their legacy. So
Yeah.
that's fire, man. That is like the story of Mike. Great, great details, great insights, great legacy, great impact. And I love doing this with you, and I'm glad that we're going to continue to put this out to the world, and as we can continue to come up with more ideas, more things to share with. So, do you
Yeah.
have any final closing comments on this?
Yeah, I mean, I'll say the same, bro. Like I am, I mean, elated to be able to do life with you, be in
Mm,
business with you. You don't even know. I probably haven't described it enough. How much of an answered prayer you are in my life. Like truthfully, no clue how much you are, right? Which is fire for me. And I'm like, dang, bro. Like, God really does love me, right? Like He gives me everything that I'm looking for and asking for, which is great. You inspire me to be better. You push me to grow harder, to think more, to do more in depth. And now it's like the things that I'm like, I'll let somebody else do that. And it's like, no, you do it. I'm like, right? Like,
yeah.
okay. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you more than you know, right? And love you, brother, for sure. You and Tanya. I mean, I don't care what happens in life. There's nothing you can do to get rid of me.
Heard that. I
Okay.
heard
Like,
that.
there's nothing. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter how egregious it might seem. Bro, we can make it through anything and we will no matter what. So love
Yeah.
that. Love that for y'all. Man, I'm excited about life. Excited about doing this, continuing this process, growing this channel. And not because we want to make a lot of money from it, but because we want to make impact.
Mhm.
Right. And people don't know this. I don't know if we said it on the first one or not, but I'll say it now. We have committed to doing this, not for 10 years,
Yeah.
not for 20 years. We committed to it, right?
Yeah.
To do this forever. So no matter what, it may not ever even get popular in the next 5 years. Who cares?
Yeah.
Right. We're doing this because we want to help as many people as we can. I mean, we just think it's a great platform to be able to reach people. And man, I'm excited about where we're headed in the next couple months for sure. The
Mm.
change is going to be insane, right? For both of us in our businesses and the growth. And I also love that we're not competing. We're in this thing to let's build each other. What can I do to help you win? You know what I'm saying? What can you do to help me? How can we get to the next level? And all we want to do is lift up our leaders,
Oh, yeah. Dude,
and which is even more fire. So love it,
so
bro.
fire, and I'm glad that we're doing this forever because it's and I hope that, 30 years from now, somebody sees this is like, "Wow, those cameras suck. Why don't
Yeah,
they have the blah, blah, blah technology," you know? They're gonna be laughing at it. It's like, yeah, cool. Well, guys, this is, the end of this one for Mike. We'll be back into something else next time, so stay tuned, like and subscribe, share with a friend, share with people that don't like us because we're gonna be really vulnerable and honest here, so, everybody needs a hater. So if you want to be a hater, this is your platform. So stick around for the next one. See you guys
absolutely.
later.
Peace.